Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off talking about the Internet Archive. Now, a whole bunch of stuff has just been removed from the Internet Archive as it's in the middle of a lawsuit. They say more than 500,000 books have been removed from our lending library due to the publisher's lawsuit. Now, included in the 500,000 books are over 1,300 banned and challenged titles. The Internet Archive is looking for people to share their story about the impact of losing these books. I'll drop a link to this page in the description below. Now, this judgment was from back in August in 2023. However, the Internet Archive has filed an appeal and they're fighting back. Now, at this point in time, as far as I know, this only applies to those 500,000 books and doesn't cover any other content that's on the Internet Archive. If you wanted to learn more about the entire lawsuit, Wikipedia has a very good article about it, and I'll drop a link to it in the description below. And speaking about lawsuits, this one is pretty big. We're talking about Steam, and Steam has been accused of ripping off 14 million UK gamers. I'll drop a link to that BBC article, as well as this website here, which is the official lawsuit website for this whole thing. And it says the Steam UK compensation claim against Valve, and the number here may be staggering. So they are claiming a total amount of £656 million is the amount of compensation that has been estimated as owed by Valve to UK consumers. And since this seems to be a pretty big class action lawsuit, they're estimating that between £22 to £44 is the amount of money the affected gamers could be owed individually. So Valve is being accused of shutting out competition in the PC gaming market by forcing game publishers to sign pricing restrictions that dictate the lowest price games can be sold for on rival platforms. This has led to UK consumers paying too much for PC games and add-on content, and has enabled the gaming giant to continue charging an excessive commission, up to 30% to publishers. If you are curious about this one and wanted to learn more about it, I do recommend checking it out, and I'll drop a link to this direct page as well in the description below. Now, I'm not going to lie, I am very curious to see what happens with this lawsuit and whether or not it remains strictly to the UK or branches out overseas as well. Moving on, and we're shifting from Valve to PlayStation, and if you've got a PS5, you might be excited to know that soon you can join voice chat directly in Discord from your PS5. I don't know about you, but I think this is a big win for the PS5. I mean, for me personally, I've been using Discord for game chat for years, and it's worked very well, at least a lot better than some of the options out there. Moving on, and next up, we're talking about Linux gaming with Proton, and Valve has just released Proton version 9.0-2 with a whole bunch of games now listed as compatible. So at the time of filming, Alpha League, Battlezone Gold Edition in VR mode, Black Desert Online, Freestyle Football R, Helldivers 2, Heroes Land, Eragon, SimCity 3000 Unlimited, and Warlords Battlecry 3 are now listed as playable. Additionally, there's been a whole bunch of bug fixes and improvements. Now, if you use Proton Experimental normally, you won't notice much of a difference switching over to this mainline version. But if you don't use Proton Experimental, you may notice a big difference switching to this mainline version. And speaking about Linux, next up we're talking about a couple of purpose-built Linux laptops that have just been announced. Kubuntu Focus has just announced the IR16, as well as the IR14. Now, both of these laptops are largely the same. The big differences here are the screen size and battery size and also the price. So the IR14 is priced at around $1,100 and the IR16 is priced around $1,150. The biggest thing I've noticed between the two is that they're using an older Intel core, the i5-13500. And I'm assuming they're doing this to help keep the prices down. Unfortunately, there's no way to upgrade the CPU, but you can customize almost everything else and really jack up the price. And speaking about prices, next up is something I don't have the price of, and it's something very weird. The Samsung Shortcut sneaker, and this is not a joke, it's not April Fool's, this is apparently real. It's a sneaker that can control a Samsung smartphone. Their tagline for this one is, "Move your feet to control your phone." I am not joking with you. According to Android Authority, there will be only 6 pairs in existence and you can't purchase them. To get a pair, you have to be a member of Samsung members in the Netherlands. If you meet this requirement, you can sign up for the contest until July 9th. So let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Would you be interested in a pair of these shoes? And what do you think the price on the secondary market would be like for one of these pairs of shoes? Next up, we're talking about Square Enix, and Square Enix has just dropped the Visions of Mana launch launch date trailer. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. I'm not gonna lie, the game itself is looking really good, and the launch date is just a couple of months away, August 29th of this year. However, I've noticed one possible downside to Visions of Mana, and if I take a look at the Steam page here, I can see that it incorporates Denuvo. So let me know your thoughts about Visions of Mana in the comments below. Is a game like this of interest? Would you be interested in it even if it had Denuvo on it? And last up here, we're talking about ChromeOS, and ChromeOS is about to get a little bit, or a lot, more like Android. Google has just announced they're going to be using more parts of the Android stack, like Android's Linux kernel fork and various frameworks, as part of the foundation for ChromeOS. This will allow them to accelerate the pace of AI innovation at the core of ChromeOS, simplify engineering efforts, and help the different devices like phones and accessories work better together with Chromebooks. Now, personally, I've got mixed opinions about ChromeOS, and I think it can use all the help it could get to improve. I mean, I've used it on a Chromebook, and I don't want to say I was underwhelmed with it or frustrated with it, but at the same time, I think it can really use some help to get competitive. Let me know your thoughts about ChromeOS in the comments below. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a few things today. It was a shorter video than normal. Let me know your thoughts about anything we talked about in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.